Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the just barely released updated roadmap and the roadmap roundup for today, February 26, 2025. There's some interesting updates on this, so let's go ahead and we're just going to read through it. Not everything, but we're going to take a little bit of a look at it and discuss some of the aspects of this. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, and as we get into this, I just want to remind you all that if you are to like and subscribe the video, you will be able to be notified of future videos when they come out. I'm working to be able to cover any Star Citizen news that comes out as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible for all you guys and provide you some good information. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe to be able to see more of that. With that, let's go ahead and get into it. So we just got the roadmap a few minutes ago, and let's go ahead and we're just going to read this first paragraph and then we'll go through some of the changes or the things updated for the release view. So hello everyone. As we emphasized in the last letter from the chairman and throughout our messaging this year, our top priority for 2025 is improving playability. A key part of this effort is refining how we manage feature development, with features now being developed in a separate branch and only migrating over when they are ready. In a recent episode of Inside Star Citizen, we shared our commitment to delivering more content patches more frequently. Because these updates are highly narrative-driven, we've adjusted how they appear on the release view to avoid spoilers. As a result, some newly added cards in the release view are marked as redacted and will only be fully revealed once the content is officially announced or discovered. As a reminder, the 1.0 column represents features and content planned for Star Citizen 1.0. However, this doesn't mean you will have to wait until full release to experience them. Rather, it serves as a snapshot of the experience you can expect. As features and content from this column become ready, they will shift left into a point patch column, preparing for release. There are still more additions and updates to come, including possible changes and additions to the immediate columns, so be sure to check back every 2 weeks for the latest updates. And with that, let's dive into this week's roadmap roundup. So I'm glad that they emphasized that the cards in 1.0, it's not like we're not going to get them until the game goes to 1.0. It's all those things are coming along the road to 1.0 because, as we're going to see, there's some things that have been added there that if they hadn't clarified that, some people might have got a little bit confused by that and it might have made some people angry. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look here. So we got notable changes. Deliverables released with 4.0.0 and 4.0.1 were marked as released. Meanwhile, the new supplier die event has been added. That's starting with 4.0.2, which I believe there's the PTU patch coming out today is another release candidate, so it's probably going to go live. I'd expect either tomorrow or Friday, and then we'll have that event that we can play around with as well. But there is now a new 4.1 column that has been added to the release view, highlighting some major deliverables that will be in the 4.1 patch cycle, whether that's 4.1 itself or a 4.1.x patch. Let's go ahead and look at what these changes are. So we have a mission giver redacted. A new mission giver enters the verse, bringing fresh opportunities for players to explore. Now, I have not been around long enough to have seen the previous mission givers that were like in the game, but I have heard of them, and I know that a lot of people miss those mission givers. So having a physicalized mission giver, I assume that's what this will be fun. That'll be a nice change. We also have a new mission giver location, a specially designed location to host our latest mission giver, offering a new hub for players to engage in these opportunities. So that's interesting. So I don't know where that's going to be, but some new place. It sounds like it's a new hub for players to engage in these opportunities. That makes it sound like it's not going to be like a tiny place as well. Like, I doubt it's going to be like a landing zone or anything, but it sounds like it's going to be a decently sized location. Maybe it's like a place for trade as well. Maybe there can be cargo missions that go there, or I don't know. Well, that's interesting. Then we have a sandbox activity redacted as well. A new open-ended activity blending on-foot exploration with aerial support, creating sandbox gameplay opportunities for daring teams. So that is interesting. That is really interesting. So if it's like, because what I've always envisioned and what I've wanted, and they've talked when they talked about in Citizen Con with like base building to assault a ground base, you'll have to go in on foot to take out ground defenses and shields to be able to then bring in like aerial bombardment and things like that. And I've always wanted to be able to see the connection between like having ground forces doing things, having aerial support, and things like that. So, you know, you have a Hercules come in and drop a tank and a ballista, and then you have another ship that maybe drops a couple cyclones, and you have a bunch of people, and they have to work together to do a ground accomplishment to get some task done there, and then be able to let in some fighters to do something, or have an A1 that needs to come drop some bombs on a target, you know. So if this is something like that, that'll be huge, and I am way excited for that, because again, that's something I've been wanting for so long. But that's interesting. So we'll have to see what that turns out to be. But if it's some sort of it's probably some sort of new event or some mission thing again. But that'll also be a good way to interact with other players as well and work together. So that is interesting. There's also going to be a new armor set, a rugged and stylish new armor, tailored for brave adventurers facing new dangers. So I don't know, it might be a variant of some already existing armor. Maybe it's a new one. I don't know. So hopefully it'll be cool. Then we have space combat missions. A new set of ship combat missions featuring improved scenario design and refined storytelling, scheduled to come in a 4.1.x patch. So that, you guys will have to let me know in the comments. What do you for all of these things? What are your thoughts on how CIG might do this? Because for this specific point, I'm not entirely sure what they would do. I mean, maybe it'll be, what I can think of off the top of my head is maybe they'd have kind of a extended version of like the Borden 890 event, or you know, those missions. Maybe there's some other like stages or different parts of a mission they could do that involve that sort of a thing, but it's again extended and it's richer in terms of its gameplay. So yeah, that's interesting, and I am again looking forward to it. Since 4.0's come out and we don't have all the missions we used to have, it really puts a spotlight on the missions we do have, and it makes me realize that the gameplay is not that deep. So if we can get deeper gameplay, that would be a big help, and I think it would make playing the game even more enjoyable. So hopefully that becomes the case, and we get some nice new missions for that. And then we have Volt weapons. We got a couple Volt weapons coming in. So we have the Volt AR, the Parallax, a powerful new weapon boasting a unique blend of characteristics, firepower, and tactical potential. I think they talked about this previously. I know all the Volt weapons are supposed to have like a couple different states where like they shoot slower, and then as they heat up, they shoot faster, but they get hot. So I think this was one of those that was going to be like that, as well as this SMG Quartz, it looks like it's called. A compact yet devastating firearm designed for those who need maximum firepower in a minimal frame, scheduled to come in a 4.1.x patch. Now, the AR did not say that, so I would assume, based on that the AR would be with 4.1, and then this would come a little bit later. So that is interesting. I know the Volt guy on Spectrum, if any of you have seen that, is going to be happy. Hather Mining Station. A large-scale mining laser facility operated by the Hather Group. We getting a new space station? Somewhere? A large-scale mining laser facility operated by... That's what this sounds like. It sounds like we'd be getting some sort of new mining station. So maybe that'd be in Pyro, because I mean, well, I guess a lot of the stations have like a refinery in Pyro. I don't know. That'll be interesting. So maybe then if they add that in, maybe it'll be a new place where there could be some other missions there. Let's see. Hather Ground Alignment Stations. Strategically placed Hather-operated outposts providing key infrastructure and sandbox gameplay opportunities for planetary operations. Interesting. So more outpost type locations that have sandbox gameplay opportunity, which kind of refers back to this sandbox activity sort of thing up here, maybe providing key infrastructure. What would that? This is very interesting. I very much want to see more on this quickly. Okay, so some new ground locations. Cool. And I think, let's see, that's everything for the 4.1 column. So then let's go ahead and go on to the 1.0 column. Okay, here we are at the 1.0 column. We won't go over these quite as in depth because there is a good amount of them, but we'll just glance over these quickly. So, additions to the Star Citizen 1.0 column. Now, again, reminder, this does not mean these things won't be coming until 1.0. It just means they are part of the experience you can expect once we get to 1.0. I'm sure they'll be added before then, okay? Okay, so we got control surfaces. This is another aspect of master mode. So we got improving atmospheric flight dynamics with functional control surfaces, allowing for more precise maneuvering and realistic aerodynamics. So that's going to be like a lot of fighters and things like that have little flaps and things like that on their wings. So that, in theory, should change the atmospheric performance of those a lot, whereas something like a hammerhead, if it's in atmosphere, is going to behave like a brick. So good to see that's being worked on. Hopefully we see it sooner rather than later, but we will see. Quantum Boost. Introducing Quantum Boost, a short burst travel mode designed for quick repositioning and high-speed engagements between distant points. Really looking forward to that, because it's really annoying when I have to go to a bounty that's 300, 400 kilometers away, and I don't have a quantum marker, and I just have to fly there. So I'm hoping we get this quickly. Item misfire and wear, adding depth to equipment functionality with item misfires and gradual wear requiring regular maintenance to ensure peak performance. It's a nice thing, you know, give you a little bit of a money sink for different things. So good to hear that's being worked on. Fire hazard, bringing the fire hazard to ships and environments, along with fire extinguisher mechanics requiring players to manage and extinguish blazes before they spread. Now this I know, along with charge and drain, life support, and engineering. I know originally those were all supposed to be in 4.0, but I know they got pushed because server meshing and getting all that stuff figured out. So I would assume these features in particular are further along than maybe some of these other ones. So I'm hoping maybe we'd get some of these at some point this year. I know we saw at least fires working in the Squadron 42 prologue, so we know that that's working, and that's, I don't know if it's, you know, completely done or anything, but it's at least working fairly well from what we could see. So then I'm just hoping we can get these other things pretty quickly here. I think the solar flare as well was supposed to be part of that, but I think it got put to another patch because of server meshing issues as well. So all of those things, hopefully we get those. Maybe they'll be added to 4.1. Maybe we'll get it at like 4.2 later this year. If we get any features, maybe this would be the thing we get this year. But we'll have to see. Then we got vehicle radar and scanning reworking vehicle radar and scanning for all vehicles. I think it was the 2023 CitizenCon. They did talk about this a little bit, like how you'd be able to scan. It was like there'd be like a ping scan, like a quick scan, and then like a charge scan sort of thing that enables you to scan like way further away or something like that. So hopefully it's something like that, and maybe some. I'm sure they'll probably extend it from there and give some more depth to that system. So that's good to hear. We got FPS radar and scanning, implementing first-person radar and scanning gameplay, improving situational awareness, and bringing new tactical gameplay. Now, I know we've also seen this in Squadron 42, so that at least has had a reasonable amount of work done on it. It may have to change a little bit for the PU, but we know that has at least had a good amount of development. So good to hear that is being worked on. We got hangar upgrades. Expanding personal hangar customization with new upgrades, layouts, and functional improvements. I am looking forward to that so much because it is so annoying to try and finagle little ships on the side of your hangar to be able to bring up your Polaris or whatever, and it's just such a pain to deal with. If they could just give us a decently sized, like a medium-sized landing pad area of space off to the side of the hangar, it would solve so many of those problems. So, looking forward to that a lot. Let's see. We got weapon overheat, introducing heat buildup and overheat mechanics for energy weapons. Oh, okay. So maybe that mechanic won't be with the volt weapons at first then, because I don't remember if it said, if we were told that was going to be there when they first came out, but looks like according to this it won't be, so we'll have to see on that. Radiation, implementing dangerous radiation zones in specific locations, forcing players to adapt with specialized gear and strategic navigation. Cool, looking forward to that. That'll be nice. Then we got new missions, location repair, implementing new missions that introduce repair gameplay into the persistent universe. First appearing in Pyro's Outposts, we've temporarily moved this card to the 1.0 column, but like all features and content there, it'll be assigned to a point patch once it's ready. Yeah, I think there was, I want to say they had some of these types of missions in the PTU at some point, but I don't think they were working quite right, so I think they disabled them. So that's something that if they can just iron out whatever's not working right, they'll probably be able to get in pretty quickly. So that's good to hear. And then anything else here? That's just like a really brief summary of it all. Let me look at the release view here really quick. Okay, so then here we are on the release view. We'll go over this really quickly. I saw in the 4.0 thing, the only thing that I saw that changed was it just added the cards for the Super Hornet, the Hornet Heartseeker, and the Misfortune, because those were added. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. 4.1, so we got Redacted again, the Mission Giver, the Redacted Armor Set. Maybe that'll be like a event reward or something like that. Maybe a nice little armor set for a reward. We got new space missions, that sandbox activity sort of thing as gameplay. Locations, the location for the Mission Giver. Oh wow, look at that. I don't know if I can make this bigger, kind of. I'm sorry for all of you on mobile. There's a kind of a little picture here of these Hathor ground alignment stations. It looks like it has like a big radar antenna sort of thing. Could these be... I wonder if these will be initial locations where, like, down the road, this would be where the planetary shielding comes from or something like that. Because that thought just popped into my head. And if that's the case, that's... Whoa. Strategically placed. Yeah, so that's the same thing there. Yeah, it looks like there's maybe a couple of buildings, but then there's this big old radar sort of looking tower. So, that is intriguing. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hathor mining station. So it is like a new space station. I wonder where is this going to be? And maybe, unless there's like multiple of them, maybe it's a new faction, a new, because I haven't heard of Hathor group before. If anyone else has, let me know in the comments. I'm not a lore expert like Astropub, so I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be multiple of them. I don't know. We'll see. Oh wait, was there one more in there? No, that was all. And then we have the Volt AR and the Volt SMG. And then in the 1.0 column, there's a bunch of stuff. So we won't go through all that. But that looks like that is the release view and the roadmap update for this week. We should receive another one, like they said, in like 2 weeks or so. So we'll see if anything's changed then. If we get anything else added to 4.1, please, engineering, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that is all for this video. Thank you guys for sticking around for this. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And again, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.